boy Bleeves. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, everybody? I hope you're having a great evening. Welcome to Trading with Bleeves. Guess what? We have a very short period of time right now. I'm going to ask you to do something. I'm going to ask you to do it. You decide whether or not this is what you want to do or not. Here's what I think is going on. So let me give you a quick back. Let's do this very quickly because the markets right now are probably about to wake up and about to really go off. I want you to decide on a crypto, and I want you to just put 50 bucks. I want you to go sign up for Margex, Weeks, KCEX. I don't care where you go. Use one of my links down below. Just put $50 in and just go long on something that you like. Go 5X, go 10X. I don't care. I think that we're about to have a real explosive move when the Asian market comes online, and we are at the spot right now where we're really going to start seeing it. The early people are getting in right now. Let me tell you what's going on. Today, Donald Trump pardoned CZ Binance. Now, that is a gigantic moment for crypto, okay? And I'm going to say this, okay? CZ Binance did everything that he was alleged to do. He pled guilty to it. He took jail time for it. The man went to prison, okay? At the end of the day, however, everything that he does or has done has been, in his opinion, for the betterment of crypto. Now, does that mean that he took advantage of a situation? Yeah, it does. And what did he really do? Did he steal from you? No. Did he steal from me? No. What he did was they did what's called wash trading, where they pretended that there was a lot of trade volume on Binance.us when in fact there was not. Now, that is illegal. The other part to it was that they denied everything as they were doing it. And then they decided that it was okay to do. And what were they ultimately doing? Okay. What they were doing was lying about the health of their platform. Binance.us was not doing very well. What did that do? It kept people who otherwise should not have been trading or would not have been trading on that platform from going to other places because it made it seem like everything was fine when in fact it was not. So what they were doing effectively was stealing business from Coinbase. What they were effectively doing was stealing business from crypto.com, from Kraken, from Robinhood, from all of the platforms, from Gemini. From all the platforms that were actually doing what they were supposed to be doing, playing the game the right way. The people who are still licensed in the US, all of those people, that's who they were attacking. So that's what happened. That's in a nutshell why we had a problem with CZ. He paid his time, but he was also prevented from ever messing with crypto again in the United States. I mean, there was a big, deep sort of penalty that he paid. And today, that bill is no longer due, which means that CZ Binance is free to do whatever he wants to do in the United States again. Now, with that being the case, with a full government pardon, he can return to Binance if he chooses. He can go wherever he wants if he so chooses. Aster, I don't think that he's going to go to Aster. Of course, it's probably YZI Labs, and that's probably where he's going to stick for now, but we'll see. Now, with that being the case, he was the biggest, other than Justin Sun, person in the Asian communities who was incredibly bullish on crypto, public face, if you will. Because of that, we are going to see, in my opinion, a very nice pump coming tonight. I think we're going to see the Asian markets are really going to be into crypto this evening. And I think it's an opportunity for you to get in, quote unquote, where you fit in. Also, CPI coming out. The CPI is probably going to come in at about 3.1%. I don't think there's going to be very much change. It'll be a shock if there is. It's not going to be something it could move the markets in a negative fashion, or it could move the markets in a positive fashion, depending on how the data comes out. What's going to move the market is the 48 hours after the CPI announcement, which is scheduled for next Wednesday. They're going to cut rates 25 basis points. Here's my deal, okay? I think tonight you have an opportunity to make a little bit of money. Go sign up at one of these, go sign up for one of these centralized exchanges down below, put $50 in, just go long on Bitcoin, go long on Ethereum, go long on anything right now. And let's see how this plays out. I have a feeling right now things are about to look very good. Also want to point out some of the people that were giving data that Donald Trump did not like and disagreed with, he fired them and the government shut down. Who do you think's collating the data right now? People that Donald Trump finds favorable. People that will basically, I'm not saying this is a good thing, by the way. I'm not endorsing it. But people who will say whatever needs to be said to appease Donald Trump. And all he wants to see is positive, great news. And that's what will probably happen. This is probably going to be one of those wild moments in time where you see just all of a sudden this data looks absolutely brilliant. And we're trying to figure out what's going on. Did the economy fix itself? Is it the low gas prices? Which, by the way, my gas prices today, $3.20, all the way back up from $2.59 just 2 days ago when I filled up the tank. And you know what? Turns out that guys, I think if you follow me for any length of time, then you will know that what I've said is, it is my belief that the scam in gasoline right now is refineries. That, you know, the oil companies divested the refineries about 25 years ago. And since then, the decoupling of gas and oil has really kind of taken shape because the refineries are separate entities unto themselves and they run different types of businesses. So now, instead of BP just sending its gasoline, its oil to a refinery to become gasoline, it sells it to the highest bidder, who then puts it into the refinery, and then they develop it. And that allows another layer of profit, which just makes everything more expensive. That's what happened. That's why it goes on. But the refineries now, there used to be like 127 refineries in the United States, and now they're down to 102. The amount of them, 89, I think, are currently in activate, or 97, I'm sorry, 97 of which are currently in activation. 5 are dormant right now. However, we have lesser options and fewer options. And guess what? The cost of transportation is also way up. So we have less providers, we have more demand, and we have all of the things that would drive up prices is what we have right now. That means that we're going to come up with a way to fix it, but we can't, because guess what? At the beginning of this year, at the Whiting refinery near me in the BP refinery, it's the largest one in the Midwest. Guess what happened? They always go offline when oil prices dump. Oil prices dumped earlier this year, and what happened? They found a dead body. So they had to shut down for a couple days, and then they had to raise prices on the gasoline. Then what happened? Then they had a flood. Turns out the flood didn't affect them, but the announcement of the flood caused them to raise prices 30 cents a gallon. Then what happened? Then they found another dead body. And I'm not kidding, another dead body. Last month, they found a dead body last month. By the way, prices in my region elevated while it's down in other regions. Don't know what's going on, but it always has to do with the refinery. Guess what happened at the refinery 4 days ago? Fire. The refinery caught fire. Wait, there's more. No damage. No damage to the refinery, but they raised it up 40 cents just to be on the safe side for delivery purposes. You know what I'm saying? Oil and gas is a scam. We need windmills. We need solar powers, generators. We've got to switch to electric at some point, because these scamming, heathenish, oil and gasoline companies are stealing from us nonstop. We need a different form. We actually, you know what? Let me rephrase that. Even if we have that different form, they're just going to steal it and try to find a way to maximize the profit off of it. What we need is we need a way forward that will help the economy. So we'll see the CPI data tomorrow. We'll see what it looks like. By the way, I think it'll ultimately come down because as you look around the nation, gas is going off at about $2.24 in a lot of different places in the nation right now. Gas is getting closer to $2. That means that the cost of transporting goods and services is going down, which means that inflation is going to go down. Now, with that out of the way, let's start talking about what's going on in these markets. Starting off with Trump pardons convicted Binance co-founder CZ. So we're done with that. Also, what we're watching right now is this right here, October. We have 8 days left in October. We're down 3.75%. October has historically been a positive month. Only 2 times in the last 12 years have we had a negative month. 3 times, including this month right now, but 2 times historically. This has been the best month for crypto by far. February is the other really good month for crypto. But when you look at it from a percentage standpoint and you look at it, median average gain, February is clearly at 12.2%, second to the almost 15% of October. So what do we glean from this? Well, what we glean from this is that there should be a reversal in the market, that historically speaking, this is the time where we start to see significant pumps. What did we see coming into today? We saw CZ Binance get pardoned, which I think means the market is about to pump. What did that end up doing? WLFI also started to trigger itself. And by the way, the last time we talked about WLFI, I told you guys, look, I can't tell you what to do with your money, but I told you at 1 cent, that is your buy zone on WLFI. We may never get to it. If we get to it, you got to buy at 1 cent. Set yourself a bid at 1 cent. So if you're on one of these platforms, you still have some opportunity. It's at 1.4 cents right now. You could see another surge on this. Again, this is Donald Trump's company. It's going to surge. It's going to pump. And it just flipped on the MACD into an uptrend. You could see a very nice run happening right here as this consolidation is playing out. This was your opportunity. If you got in at 1 cent right now, you're at 1.4. You got a 40% profit. My recommendation, 2 cents, take your profit back out, take your original back out, and then ride your moon bag. Also, when you look at the chart right now, you might want to set your full take profit a little bit light, maybe right there at 1.9 cents, so that you're catching the bottom of those wicks at the very, you're trying to catch the some of the lower wicks where the support was really strongest, which is 1.9 cents. So a 90% profit on that would be a very nice run. You put $1,000 in, it goes up to $1,900 when you cash out. You take your $1,000 back out, you got $900 in WLFI tokens just sitting there waiting. And then in the event that it dumps back down and it comes back into your buy zone at 1 cent one more time, if you get fortunate, if something happens, something ridiculous happens, go set another bid for $1,000 at 1 cent and wait for it to run back up again. And then you're going to have, when you cash back out, $1,800 in WLFI tokens. It's pretty simple. So, but anyway, the market is starting to move. It went all the way up almost $100 billion, by the way, at some point during the day, but it did not maintain. So now that we're here, now that we're doing it, let's break down exactly what's going on. So make sure that you hit that like button, by the way, on the way in. Because this is a trading show, I came up with some new stuff that I'm going to be working on going forward. I'm trying to come up right now with a new screen for the bottom over there. It looks like this right now. I'm just trying to fit pieces into place. And I got all kinds of different BS down here in terms of, like, KCEX I could throw down at the bottom of this. Then I could do the same thing with weeks over here down to the bottom of this. And we can, kind of fill this stuff in with, this is not, by the way, this is not very good at this point. Size is not right, stuff like that. I'm going to have to make everything match up, of course. But for the moment, that looks pretty good right there. So anyway, then I take this thing out. Then I hit the download. We can transparent background. We're going to move it up to 2560 by 1440. And then we're going to download it. and then we'll see what happens with it. So then we're going to go to frames over here, and we're going to trading frame is what it's called. So we'll close that out. Now we're going to put the trading frame in here, and then we'll see what it looks like. Trading frame. There we go. All right. So now we got to find out where the hell does my big head go, which for now it's going to end up being right here. Now, the whole idea, by the way, is this is not going to end up, this will not be exactly what it looks like. This is just me kind of riffing on it right now, trying to figure out the best way to do it. So when I get it done, when I get it like kind of sized right, then we'll kind of unveil the whole thing. In the meantime, just deal with whatever we got here, broski. So let's continue on. Let's talk about where Bitcoin is, what Bitcoin's doing right now. And let's look at it on the 1 hour chart. So we got the nice little breakout a couple of hours ago upon the news that CZ Binance was being pardoned. It was about 9 o'clock this morning. Then we started to see that big surge in the market all the way up to 111. Then we saw the natural correction of the market. By the way, look at that little crossover that we're getting on these hourlies right now. It looks very, very bullish. What we're also seeing is here's the impulse move right there. And look at that perfect play out, picture perfect. What do I always tell you? What is my Fibonacci? Fibonacci is what matters. Where does it go? It goes into the golden zone. If it breaks down into that lower range, where's it going to go? Into that 786 pocket right there, which is exactly where it ended up going right here. And then what did it do? Got a strong bounce to the 4-5, most likely going to break back out at least to the 236 right here at 110,720. And then from there, we could start to see a real breakout, a real historical breakout. Now, before I say that, let's go back to what I normally tell you is going to happen in the market. You're going to go from here to here. You're going to come down here. You go back to the 236. You're going to get a deeper cut right here. Then you're going to break back out to the 236, bounce off of it, then bounce off of the top. And then that's where you have your little breakout. Your consolidation, by the way, this little range right here may take longer than what we have right there. This is for illustrative purposes only. This is not me saying that it's going to happen over that time frame. It could actually come out and start to look something like this right here. And what you end up seeing is the same play out where you come up here and then you're going to come down here deep and you're going to see it come along this way. And then you're going to finally get your little test here. And then you're going to get your bounce here. And then it's going to bounce above and then it's going to come out. And it just takes a little while for it to break out. But ultimately, it should break out in that fashion. So if it doesn't, and if it comes back down, if it retraces, then we could be looking at some lower lows. But I don't think that we are. That's why I'm telling you right now that it is my opinion that you should sign up at one of my links down below, take $50 and just go long. Pick a crypto. I don't really think it matters which crypto. Binance BNB might be a good one. Coinbase still not active in their trading, by the way. As soon as it's live, though, and by the way, they're doing some maintenance on Saturday. Some big time maintenance for, let me see where it is here. On Coinbase, they're going to be doing some serious maintenance on Saturday. And during that serious maintenance, I have an idea here that they're probably going to surprise people with that BNB listing. I think that they're waiting for something. And I think part of it has to do with them being able to kind of finagle their system to get it ready to whatever. But as soon as I see BNB back in my wallet on Coinbase, by the way, I sent BNB to Coinbase a long time ago when I was a neophyte, brand new person in crypto. I had no idea what was going on. I want to say, I would have to go back and really kind of look through and figure out what it was. But I sent BNB to my Coinbase wallet a couple years ago, and it's been sitting there all this time. And they would not give me a refund. They wouldn't give it back to me. They were just like, too bad, so sad, scratch your ass and get glad. Or, whatever people say. As a matter of fact, historically, we're going to filter this. We're going to sort by, and we're going to do network. We're going to do the BNB network here. And then we're going to boom, 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 boom. When did I send BNB? All right, so I'm looking for where I sent BNB to BNB, sent. Boy, there's a lot of transactions. I have a lot of transactions. So I'm going to have to look this up later. But I sent a bunch of BNB to Coinbase a long time ago. 2.6. There it is. I sent 2.6 BNB to Coinbase in June of 2023. June of 2023, I sent 2.6 BNB. June of 2023. Giggity. All right, so June of 2023, somewhere in this range right here, BNB was trading about 200, 300 bucks. So my wallet should have somewhere near, I sent, because it was like 600 bucks is what I sent over. And that was 2.6 at that time. So that would mean that my 2.6 is now, was that almost $3,000? So thanks for the savings account, Brian Armstrong, you asshole. Anyway, I digress. Let's move back over here. All right, so now let's talk about what's going on in the market. Back to Bitcoin. So the market is playing out right now. I would set a bid right now, but I would just bid on it right where we are right now. I think is a perfect spot for a bid. I think that we're going to have a nice little breakout coming up in a short little while. So like I would recommend doing it right now. All right. Do you think they're going to screw you out of that or give it to you? I was told that it's in their system and that if they ever support it, it will just appear in the wallet. That's what I was told. And I don't like that frame, by the way. That frame is making my brain hurt. Good Lord, I can't do that shit. Anyway, so I'm going to get it back. Also, I have $2,500 in USDC on Solana there as well. And I assume that they're going to support USDC on Solana at some point. So I'll get that money as well. So I'm worried about it because I don't like being stolen from, and I don't like shithole organizations like Coinbase who are actually, in my opinion, good for crypto, being seedy, shady scumbag organizations that steal money from people like me. They make so much money. Look at Coin, by the way. If you were to go look at the stock on Coin, this is Coinbase Global on NASDAQ right now. Let's go back to the week here. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, do you know you could have gotten this at $32 and you would be up 10x right now? How much money do they make? You know what I mean? Like, it's absolute insanity. What's their total market cap? Market cap for Coinbase, $83 billion. $83 billion market cap for Coinbase, and they're stealing money from me. Fuck that guy, man. Can't stand Brian Armstrong. I would look, here's what I'm going to tell. This is my promise to you. All right. To this point, I have not gone to all these Bitcoin conferences. Okay. I've not gone to the Bitcoin conferences. I haven't done a whole lot in that regards, but I do intend to start going to all of these conferences pretty soon. If I meet Brian Armstrong, I'm going to slap him on his bald ass head, and then I'm going to dare him to do something about it. Okay. I promise. That's my promise to you. By the way, I'm going to need you guys to send me the wallet will be in the description down below when I'm doing it. So you guys will know when I need bail money. Okay. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to walk up to him. Brian Armstrong. Oh my God. You're the guy that stole my money. And I'm going to lick my hand and smack his bald ass head. And then I'm going to be like, can I have my money back? And then he's going to look at me like, what the fuck is happening? I'm going to be like this. Because my face looks more serious than his. You know what I mean? Like, I look like I'm going to hurt somebody. He looks like a half melted dildo. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be fun. Anyway, that's my promise to you guys. Now, back to the trading, because that's what I'm here for, despite the fact that I'm ranting. Buy Bitcoin. Go long right now. Get ready for it. We're up to 76 billion, by the way, in market right now. We've had that correction. We had that downward move. It's time for it to break back out. Ethereum, 30, excuse me, 38.56. You're at the bottom of the channel right now. I gave you an entry position over here from a couple days ago. Wick back up to it, broke out of it, went back up above. Like, by the way, do you remember when we were doing this trade right here and came down, we wicked right back up there? I mean, it gave you the ranges of how the shit was playing out. So right now you're kind of in the middle of this trend line, but Ethereum still doing pretty well. So your accumulation is going to be right here. I would set a bid right now and look for a move up into this 42.45, 42.50, like pretty rapidly. I think you're going to see a big move going into this one. So I would set a bid right there, right now. Let's do this as an entry position. We're going to pop this down here and say, there's your entry right now. And then your exit position would be right there, about 47.84. So that's what I think is getting ready to happen. That's the play that I think is getting ready to happen right now. BNB, I would grab myself some right now with, again, I would set a sell order right there. I would set a sell order right in that range. Let's go look at it on the hourly right now. So we saw the breakout. We saw the CZ got pardoned. There's your breakout moment. This is your corrective moment. Look what's happening right now. Back to Fibonacci. And look at that. Perfectly. Right in that pot, right in that golden zone. Right there. Consolidates in that range for a little while. And guess what? It's headed back up to 11.42 right now. Okay. And why do I say that? Because it always goes back to the 236. What's the rule of thumb that I gave you right now is to go back to that 236. So if that's going to be the case, then let's remove this. I would buy a little bit right now and then sell it when it gets up to 11.42. That's only right now $20 if you bought one. So you're going to want to use 10x leverage, or you're going to want to use a bigger wallet or something like that for it, or sit this one out and sit on the sidelines. However, you could also see a nice breakout and another retest of the all-time high. Remember, I said a sell up here at 1352. I wouldn't. I would say this: there is a real distinct possibility that the Asian markets do this tonight. Also, if they don't do that, if the hype is not real, if it doesn't really start to break out, if BNB isn't going crazy, then here's what I'll say. Over the next 2 or 3 days, you're going to see CZ make an announcement of some sort about something that he's going to do in America now that he's free. And I think that's going to pump the shit out of BNB. So my opinion. Anyway, go along. Solana breaking out. Solana had what we saw yesterday, what we saw in the last couple of days, not just yesterday. The last couple of days, we saw BNB starting to dip pretty hard. Solana starting to rip pretty hard in terms of volume. So I think Solana is back in vogue right now, and I would be taking a long position right now. Now, if you missed the dip, that's okay. If you missed the dip, so what? There is an opportunity here, and I would say this. I would say your entry that I gave you over here is now your sell position right now, and we're going to be looking to sell when we get into that range right there. So I would take a position right now. Also, zoom out here just a little bit. We started to get money flow dipping back down. We had a positive money flow on the hourly. It came back down. Looks like it's about to break back forward. We're above the 50. We're above the 200. We're about to see a flippening there and a golden cross on the short term, and that usually leads to a significant pump. When you get a crossover here, you get a significant pump. When you get a crossover, you're looking for crossovers, and do you get significant pumps? Most of the time, that's what you get. Here we go. Crossover, big pump. Crossover, big pump. You're about to get another crossover. So I think there's a big pump coming from Solana over the next little while. So going long on Solana right now would not be a bad move. Again, it's very difficult to predict what's going to happen with the Asian market as they wake up and as they see that CZ's been pardoned and stuff like that. But I think that is one of those catalysts that you will see sort of. And by the way, the other thing is it could take 24 hours. The reason that I'm going to say that is because a lot of people just pumped this market by $73 billion. Looks like we're going to end about up $75 billion. We're down compared to the all-time high, but we're still up 20% compared, 22% right now compared to the previous bull run all-time high. So we're doing pretty good overall in crypto. We're not feeling it in altcoins, but we are feeling it in overall market capitalization. By the way, if you go back and look at market capitalization minus stable coins, then it tells a vastly different story, by the way. I was having a conversation about this the other day, and I think it's this one right here. Yeah, okay, so this is the market excluding stable coins, okay? And if we were to take this out to the daily right now, it looks pretty similar to the market structure, by the way. It's not looking dissimilar, but you're not seeing the same amount of the dips are not the same. They're a little bit longer and stuff like that. And then another piece is when you get to them and you take out Bitcoin, it looks crazy. We have not had an altcoin season at all. Let me go back and let me restate this. And by the way, how is my mic tonight? I don't know if the mic is doing very well or not. So I'm not really sure how that plays out. But let me tell you, if you exclude Bitcoin from the overall market cap, total 2, okay, here's what it looks like. We've had an all-time high. We went back above our all-time high right over here just a couple of days ago. Okay, so that means that everything without Bitcoin went up and hit an all-time high in the new market cap. Here's where it gets interesting, though. We're going to take out stable coins. What happens if we take the stable coins out of this mix? And when we do that, oh, my friends, it tells a vastly different story. We have not hit the all-time high at all. You see this? We're kind of close. We're kind of close, but we are right now, if you just consider this, let's go back over here and from the previous market top, we are currently 34% away from the previous all-time high as of today, as of right now. If we look at that same traction right there to the previous all-time high from where we currently are, and we add stable coins, it's only 16%. So there's some weird stuff going on in this market. Stable coins have become very important, obviously, and they were going to be important. They were destined to be very important, but they've taken over some of the market capitalization, and we should pay attention. We should pay more attention to what's going on and removing stable coins from the mix to kind of look at these going forward. So buy Solana right now. I would say by the way, buy Link right now. Listen, everything that I've said so far, go long. Just go long and just see what happens. You might get wrecked, by the way. I might lose you $50, okay? The market could react exactly the opposite of what I think is going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. We could be waking up right now. We could wake up in a couple hours and China is a mess, or Europe is just out of whack, or the Middle East is having some kind of wild bullshit happen over there. There's any number of things that could be happening, or they don't care about CZ Binance. Binance, by the way, for those of you that don't know, Binance is now back in South Korea. So at any moment, they bought Mopax, I think it's called, which was an exchange in Korea. Now that's probably going to be shelved and closed, and then Binance is going to re-enter because they bought it. So all the assets are going to be transferred to the Binance platform, I assume, or they're going to make Binance.sk, which seems silly to me. If I were Binance, I would be getting rid of Binance.us and just making it Binance.com. I would be getting rid of, if they make Binance.sk, I would be looking for ways to get Binance into the mix instead of out of the mix and making it additional parts and stuff like that. Just my opinion. But regulations notwithstanding, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe maybe you need to do that at this point. But anyway, Chainlink. Chainlink is your bridge right now for real world asset. API 3 is better. There's better cryptos out there. There's better platforms for trading real world assets. There's Dev, there's API 3. There are better places, but Chainlink is the ruler of them all. Everybody wishes they had the Chainlink market cap. So until somebody can dethrone Link in real world assets, Link is the big dog in the yard. And when we look at RWAs, the RWA protocols over here, it is not by a long shot, by the way, not by a long shot. Chainlink is sitting right now at a $12 billion market cap. Stellar is at 10 billion market cap. Avalanche at 8 billion. Hedera at 7 billion. Ondo at 2.2 billion. So you can see there's plenty. And by the way, there's plenty of growth opportunity here. Plenty of growth opportunity in RWA right now. Again, going down the list here, we're going to, you don't, as a matter of fact, because they have not done it properly and I've complained about it, Dev is not listed here, despite the fact that it is one of the bigger RWA protocols. Like, it is absolutely bonkers to me that it's not included. And for that matter, neither is API 3, because they branded it the wrong, they both branded them the wrong way. Like, it's crazy to me that when you look at stuff, you can't see it because it's not, I don't know. And it's not, by the way, it's not CoinMarketCap. It's them. It's the protocols that are misfiling themselves on the platform. So anyway, Link, perfect buy right now. XRP at $2.39. Guys, I told you you're going to get a generational entry at 270 right here. And then Wintermute happened. And Wintermute dumps on the market. And now we're consolidating at this lower price point. Now, by the way, the fact that Wintermute dumped means that the market, and by the way, remember, not only did Wintermute dump, they bought back a significant portion immediately along with the rest of it. So what do we make out of that? Well, what we make out of that is that they were trying to send a message received. Now we're having a recovery, but here's the problem with the recovery, okay? There's an honest conversation that we should have about the recovery. It's going to take a moment to recover because look, if you're building a house, you need bricks, right? One of those bricks was built on trust, and Wintermute destroyed that brick, okay? And now that brick is missing. That brick was a brick of trust in this market. And now, and by the way, we've already taken a bunch of bricks out of trust in this market. So it is very difficult sometimes to find your way here because it's hard. It's very difficult sometimes. You buy a project, the project looks pretty good, but what you don't realize is that the people that are investing are just a bunch of degens who are just trying to shit on it and steal from each other, and just dump on one another and try to squeeze as much money as they can get out of it. And look, that's the nature of trading. That's the nature of the beast that we're in. But feels kind of seedy and it feels kind of shady. Okay, it is very difficult right now for these cryptos to build communities. Those communities are dead. Everybody who's in a community is getting their ass handed to them and they're way down. That's what's wrong. Okay, so again, there's got to be a flip to that, and we'll see the flip come at some point. But XRP is one of those that can take off completely. Remember, I believe they signed a country a couple days ago and another business a couple days ago. Like, XRP just seems to be popping up everywhere. It is only a matter of time before a deal with the US government, before a deal with some kind of crazy thing pops out of nowhere. Jay Manuel says, been seeing a lot of people getting bullish on Dev now. It's almost time. So it's almost time for whatever they're going to do that will make the announcement, everything resonate and fit together like a glove. It's only a matter of time right now. So I think that, yeah, we're on the cusp of a massive, massive announcement. Now, the other thing is, I can tell you at this point that in the event that you are a Dev holder or you're considering Dev, you still have time. You won't be able to look. Right now is probably the lowest. If the market dumps one more time, you could see it go down to 32 cents, I think. I'm not sure exactly what the number is on Dev. Let's take a quick look at that because it's probably important. I think the bottom of Dev is about 33 cents in this range right here. Yeah, about 33, 34 cents. You could see it dip quite a bit. There is a possibility of another dip coming. However, what you're looking for is your VASP license, and you're looking for all of the licensing pieces. When you start hearing the developers of Dev talking about the licensing being completed, my friends, that means that the next step is the announcement of the partnership. That's what they're waiting for. And by the way, it's the only thing that they're actually waiting for that announcement. So, and by the way, I say that because I'm not on the inside. So when I say that, please understand, I'm not speaking for the team. I'm saying that based on what they've said so far, that's all they're waiting for. Once that's done, then they can publicly announce what they're going to do next. Okay. And that is they're going to bring in this major partner, and they're going to launch this exchange. So, and by the way, remember, this exchange is going to be a paradigm shift in the way exchanges work, in that you're going to attach your wallet. You control everything on this exchange. You will be the one who's in charge of your wallet. There's no more not your keys, not your crypto. This is all about you now. So that's a really good thing, by the way. The reason that I bring that up is because, again, this is going to be a shift. And when this shift happens, then you're going to see Coinbase, you're going to see Kraken, you're going to see everybody try to adopt this. And there was a conversation that was had. I don't want to show it to you on screen because, but let me give you a where is it? Watching, look at nope, that's not him. I had a conversation with somebody just a few minutes ago, and they were talking about no. Yeah, okay, so it says yeah, good luck. Okay. Okay. So a major company reached out to Dev and they wanted to acquire their patents. So that is a big deal. Okay. So, and of course they didn't do it, but if major companies are reaching out about these patents and they want to be involved, then guess what that should mean? That should mean there's going to be a big desire for people to do business the same way that Dev is currently doing business, because what Dev is doing is, back to the chart, institutional grade. So this is institutional grade trading with, number one, instantaneous settlement, number two, theft and loss and fraud prevention. So there is a bailment company that's going to be kind of in the middle. So when I trade with you, I'm going to send my stuff to you. You're actually going to get a quote unquote loan from the bailment center, which I think is going to be Bank Delubach, but you're going to get a loan from the bailment partner for the exact amount of our transaction until, and by the way, I think you actually get my crypto. Like, I think if I send you 1 Bitcoin, then the 1 Bitcoin goes into the holding company, and then they send you 1 Bitcoin. So it's still a Bitcoin, but it's locked and you can't sell it until I confirm the legitimacy of the transaction or something like that. And then once that's done, then everything gets released and we're all done. And, the fees for all of that are done through the transaction fees, which are based on the Dev token, which will be a coin at that point. And I disconnect my wallet from the platform. I'm done. They never controlled anything. I got mines. You got Yos's. And then the bailment company, they got a percentage of the fee. And then a liquidity provider, any liquidity provider, got a piece as well. Because, again, if I provide liquidity, if I provide my Dev or ETH or something like that to provide liquidity for it, then I make money off of that as well. So basically, we're in charge. And that is going to be a crazy, crazy moment. By the way, we're up to 78 billion in the market cap right now. So it is starting to move upwards. Again, I hope you went long and I hope I get commission for it. Let's talk Definity here real quick. Definity dumped 17% today. Should it be a reason to be concerned? No. As a matter of fact, it shouldn't be a reason to be concerned, or at least I don't feel like it should be a reason to be concerned. And when I look at Definity Markets, they just made an announcement a few moments ago. It says, team update. Following Bloomsbury's official launch on October 1st, we're pleased to share that the platform is now going live with the accounts of our first cohort of onboarded clients this week. The response from Definity's institutional partners and larger clients has been overwhelmingly positive, with many already engaged in the onboarding process. So Bloomsbury Money, I don't even know really what's going on with Bloomsbury Money, but the name sounds nice. Bloomsbury Publishing is a leading independent publishing house. No. It's a district of West End, London. Publishing books. Let's do Bloomsbury and then it's a broad term. Okay, looks like it might be Bloomsbury Publishing or Bloomsbury Wealth, an independent financial advisory firm based in London. By the way, this is a British crypto, or it is a European crypto. I guess I should say. I don't know if I think that all of them are in London. I think if you look at their thing here, it also says London. No, well, I don't know if it says, but anyway, this momentum is deepening the strategic alignment between Bloomsbury and Definity, strengthening our market. Bloomsbury Money, son of a bitch. You know what? That's what I should have done. Duh. Bloomsbury Money. Here we go. Global businesses and private clients move capital with confidence from multi-currency accounts to FX strategies. All right, so it's a Forex company. So they're onboarding a Forex company onto their platform. Like, holy shit. Look, that's just my opinion. All right. But I think that that's a very big deal. The problem that we've had with Definity so far, just for everybody's full understanding, the problem with Definity is that Definity as a token doesn't do anything in their ecosystem. They launched the token because they were trying to get themselves set and registered, funded. You know, they did everything that they were trying to do to try to, you know, they were creating it as a crypto, but the crypto that they were creating was not for crypto, really. It was for the Forex market, for FX trading. So you've seen it kind of get crushed in the last bunch of years. So a year ago, when we got that last big pump, the last big pump for Pepe, I want to say, that's when we saw it run up to, what's that, 9 cents, went up to about 8.5 cents. Right now, it's currently trading at 2 cents. So, and that's a $3 million market cap. But let me zoom out here and show you guys when it launched at a ridiculous market cap up here. The market cap, and it tested it multiple times. Okay. It tested multiple times, somewhere in the neighborhood of launched at 44 cents. It looks like probably launched at 50 cents, probably ranged a little while, but it went up to $5.76. So just for clarity's sake here, at $5.76 from where we are, that would be a 290x. So 290x to get to its all-time high. Currently trading at a 3 million market cap. That puts it at about an $870 billion market cap, I want to say, something like that. Still under $1 billion. So it is my opinion, not that it's going to go to $1 billion market cap at all. By the way, I'm not saying that in the least. What I'm saying is I think that it's got an opportunity to be a runner and create some significant value for the right investor. That it'll probably break above this previous top over here, that in that last little end of the market bull run cycle, we got up to 6 cents over here, maybe even 6.5 cents at one point. When the market turns, and it will turn again, then I could see it at least going up into this range right here, at least into this range right here. before it actually breaks out and we get a crazy altcoin season. And then an altcoin season, maybe we go up to 15, 15, 20, maybe even up to 50 cents. That's a 25x from where we are. And it would still be undervalued, in my opinion, at about a $75 million market cap. So seems like a long way to go for the project. But again, I told you guys this morning, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in fees off of the current trading that they're doing. I mean, they're making a killing. So I'm hoping, by the way, I full disclosure, I am hoping that they finally reach back out to me and say, hey, my bad. We didn't mean to not partner with you. we meant to do this. It's just been real busy for the last couple of days. We'll see. You know what I mean? First of all, I wouldn't do 50x. Just not me. I don't do 50x. But I would do a Bitcoin long right now. I would do a BNB long right now. I would do a Solana long right now. I would do a Link long right now, and I would do an XRP. I would do the big ones right now because those are the ones that are going to move first. So those are the ones that I would be looking at, and I would be going right after those. But again, I wouldn't go higher than 10x just in case I'm wrong. So I'm putting 5 of them at $100 a piece. That's $500 that I'm risking. Bitcoin usually drags everything with it. So if Bitcoin is going to run, which I think it will, then and by the way, one of the pieces that's going to be like, it might even just be overnight, by the way. The reason I say that is because CPI data comes out in the morning. So we could see some enormous volatility. But this is, in my opinion, just that opportune moment right now, especially with the market resetting. When people are looking at the data on the chart, then one of the nice parts about when things roll over for the day, you have a blue candle, you forget about the blue candle, and you get another blue candle and another blue candle and another blue candle. And it just keeps going and going and going up. So if we're at the bottom, and I think that we are, and I think, like, if you look at the total crypto market cap right now, move it to the 4-hour right now, it looks like we're breaking out as we speak. So this descending channel that we've been in, we attempted to break out yesterday, got thrown back into the loop here. Now we attempted to break out again, just touched the 50, wicked off of the 50, looks like it's getting ready to start moving. Then we move up to the 200, you flip the 200, and then everything becomes bullish again. You're up above the 200. When you're up above the 200, the 50 starts to cross over. Then you get your golden cross on on that breakaway right there. And then boom, that's when you get that big move. And by the way, again, that indicator does not mean, it's not because of the indicator. The indicator is just telling you what the sentiment is in the market. So when I'm reading it that way, I say it to you that way, but that's not what's causing the pump, okay? That is what some of the algorithms pick up and say, hey, wait a minute, we're about to get a golden cross. Let's throw a few bucks at this and let's ride that golden cross until we get up to what we feel is the top. So you will see some investment come in on a good golden cross, especially on hot products, or maybe even on, remember, there are some ETPs and there are basket ETFs right now for crypto. So you might, one of them came out the other day with the top 50 cryptos, not stablecoin, by the way, but top 50 cryptos, and it just became a basket ETF. So, or maybe it was 10, maybe it was the top 10. I think it was 50. Anyway, point is there's a lot of money to be made right now. So if I'm taking my shot, I'm doing it right now. I'm getting that Asian market, and I'm letting them work for me tonight. And then hopefully the rest of the markets will comply. I would be looking at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. I would be looking to check my portfolio. If those actually break out and you get a nice run on those, even if you're not at 100%, I would be looking to take profit. I would be looking to take profit because I'm not convinced that this market is going to sustain what we're going through right now. I'm not sure of that. I think that this is just going to be one of those FOMO sort of buildups. I'm not sure that this means that the market has reversed yet. We still need to close. We got to close Bitcoin above 110. We're at 110 right now. As a matter of fact, closing Bitcoin above 110, very important, right? Because that's your resistance line or your support. Which, by the way, right over here, you got to close above your resistance. Otherwise, you're going to resist. And when you resist, you go down. So if we can't close above, then we might have a problem. We got 5 minutes left, by the way, and the market seems to be pumping a little bit. So it looks like we're going to make it, and we're going to close above 110. If we just close right at 110, that's good enough. That could be good enough to make people flip bullish again. But again, zoom out here and start looking for positive data. And we've got this right here. We've got this right here. And we've got this right here showing a clear uptrend that we're back on. If that continues, then we should see a breakout coming very, very soon. I would suspect that we're about to see something big start to really move. And we're up to 79 billion in market cap in the market. It is starting to soar just a little bit more. The question is, over the next 2 or 3 hours, are we going to see a really nice run? That's the question that we can't answer that yet. But again, the reason that I think it's going to take off, the reason that we're doing this right now is CZ Binance. He's been pardoned by the U.S. government. It is ready to go. Christian says, I think Dev is all set to release partner and is just waiting for momentum in the market to capitalize the most. I see 5 billion market cap a month and top 5 crypto within 2 years. Let me stop that. And let me say that I agree with your number. 5 billion, I think, is the market cap. That's $50. I think they've been set to release for a long time. I don't think that it's even a question there. And I don't think it has anything to do with market momentum, by the way. Market momentum is irrelevant at this point. Let me just back out here for a second and show you one more time here. There's $3.66 trillion in the market right now. And when we talk about stable coins, because that's what you need in order to buy it, right? You're gonna need stable coins. There's currently $182 billion sitting in Tether. There's currently 77, almost 77 billion sitting in USDC. So the problem is not timing. It's not at all. The problem is not momentum. The problem is just making that announcement. Once you make that announcement, $1 billion worth of Tether comes into Dev, and you got a $10 billion market cap, or a $15 billion market cap, I think. So it's not really momentum. Anything can run. Remember, Aster went absolutely bananas when it launched just a little while ago. Not that one. There we go. Meme Core went up 3,700. Aster 1,200, 12x in the last couple weeks. Market's dumping, but Aster going absolutely nanners. AB is up 41x. Mix is up 16x. It is not about timing the market. All right. It's just about that announcement. I assure you, the big dogs, the capital, the money will show up if the announcement is what I think it's going to be. So that's going to be the show, guys. Thank you so much, Ian. I'm going to get out of here right now. You guys have a good day, and we will see you for breakfast in the morning. Good night. Take care.
They call me Bleeves, I'll do